Hūhana.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker.
Hūhana.
I stand here sad at the news that we have lost one of our best from the health system. Mādiapa was the best of us. After 27 years of delivery of health services across the system, we lost a Pacific leader, we lost a wahine Pasifika, and we lost the CEO of Te Whatu Ora. And that's a shame on us in the way that we did not look after her. For she was a woman who maintained her composure, she came before select committee, she was under scrutiny, and the eyes of New Zealand were upon her, as she led a system that was to bring together a joined-up approach, an innovative way of delivering a new health system. And Mādiapa said, "This role has called on all of my 27 years of experience in health policy, planning and funding, operations and people leadership. It has also called upon all my experience both in hospitals and as a funder of primary and community services. There is progress we have made together. We are delivering more care to more people, both in our hospitals and in our community and primary care sector." She was unifying the healthcare sector. 80,000 staff, multi-billion-dollar budget. Te Whatu Ora was bringing through reforms that would see efficiencies, that would see a way with which we could cut the bureaucracy. But Mādiapa knew what was at the heart of our workforce, and that was quality delivery. Because we have a workforce that is stressed. We cannot turn our back on what our nurses and what our unions are telling us. They are telling us very clearly they need to be resourced better. We need $1 into the health system that genuinely funds a public health sector. Mādiapa was the lady with the heart, and she worked alongside Rihanna Manuel to establish that mahitahi that has been called co-governance. No, no, no. You cannot say that Te Aho-White was all bureaucracy. Those kaimahi were based in Taitokerau. They were based in Tairāwhiti, in Taranaki. They were in the regions. There was only a tiny, tiny number of kaimahi in Wellington and Auckland. Te Aho-White were connected, they were local, and they were listening and working alongside Te Whatu Ora. But no, it's for nothing. For nothing. You didn't even give them a chance. And that's the crying shame of where we're at in the health sector. So this year is about accountability. Absolutely. You can't keep blaming Labour. This year is about putting your neck on the line as the minister, somebody who's new to our sector, and to say, this is what I've done. Because as somebody from the health sector, I look forward to seeing what you can produce as the government. We have changes that have come wave after wave for our sector. We have seen the sacking of the Te Whatu Ora board, doing away with Te Aho-White, bringing in a commissioner who said of his CEO just recently in the Post, the commissioner said, he was quoted saying that he wanted a chief executive who could build a team and lead a team that has got serious implementation capacity, that can, instead of writing about what they're going to do, can actually do it. Manga manga, shame on the commissioner to dare undermine Mādiapa, that taonga that has delivered so much for her people, whether it's DHB, whether it's Ministry of Health, and then ka eke ia ki te taumata. She came forward, wahine Pasifika, to lead our waka hauora, and then we get a commissioner that undermines her publicly. Manga manga. Shame on that. Shame. Because ultimately, if your chair, if your commissioner does not have your back, well then who does? We do. We back Mādiapa, we back all of the kaimahi on the workforce because they deserve better. We need to fuel our health sector properly. We need to acknowledge that public health services are a right for all New Zealanders. And we need to have an equity lens whereby all of us, no matter where we come from, if we're at the bottom of every socio-economic statistic, aka Māori and Pasifika, then we're going to get funded for it. Kia ora.
Ooh, Hūhana was on fire.
She's right.
Yeah. She's very
what else
good.
can I say?
She kind of nailed it. What does she need to know?
Yeah.
I mean, you notice that she really likes Lester Levy too.
But I mean, I can picture Lester Levy and Simeon Brown will be the two toxic managers that will basically bring down the health system.
Yeah, well, Lester Levy's got. Well, no, I won't do that because he'll probably come and sue me. So, I'll change tack there. But I mean, this is, as I said, it's a hugely complex system. It doesn't react to a minister that can't think beyond sound bites and alliteration and repeating the same message again. It actually I mean, I remember Tony Ryle's maiden speech. And he was a national minister of health. And the point that he made is he said how he loved the passion of the people in the health sector throughout it. They were absolutely dedicated to what they did. And then he said, just imagine being the Minister of Education. You know, and so he was at least a minister that, to be fair, appreciated just how complex the system was and how it actually needed people to navigate that complexity. Now, we've got some really big time bomb issues here, because Ian Rennie's recently given a speech as Secretary to the Treasury called, Twisting Two Curves, where he basically says New Zealand's on a track for bankruptcy. Now, a colleague of mine wrote pretty much the same report back in 2004, and it's basically the growth of health and it's not welfare expenditure, it's superannuation.
Yeah.
And you're actually looking at, within the next 20 years, it's going to be more than the total tax take the government's got.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing that Simeon Brown should be actually looking at. We have got an aging population. It is a bulge aging population. Then the problem we've got a demographic behind it that's much smaller. We're seeing that in terms of tax take. But for a period of time, we're going to have the boomers around for a long time, and they're going to be really expensive.
Yep.
They're going to be really expensive. And we have not thought about how we're doing that. And snipping bits and pieces here, and and what I'm really worried is that they'll just go down a route of simplistic privatisation, because that's exactly what we've seen, what's happened in the UK. Because it's pretty much the thing of you let it fall to pieces and then say it's hopeless, because there's no managers left because you've gotten rid of them all. You say this is a leaderless thing, which you've created, and you then basically go and hock it off to, here's the thing, go and do a Google search on the interest that Lester Levy's got in the private health sector.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok.